Hello and welcome to round 6, Monaco, from my F1 2012 career mode in Season 2. I am LoveSpuds, and this is my qualifying lap. It's not a great qualifying lap, neither was the editing either, because that was meant to be a nice fade as usually are used to seeing. Now, I've completely cocked up my setup on this circuit. I thought I'd try a little bit of a different setup as I slam into the barriers. Thought I'd try a bit of a different setup because I hate this track. I don't hate it as a track, I hate driving around it. And I'm always slow around here, so it's not making much of a difference. But I cocked up my setup because I do not feel comfortable in the car at all. And I tend to do my career mode in like one go. As in, I don't restart the practice session or the qualifying. I've only ever restarted the race once or twice when I've actually got a penalty in the first 5 seconds. But apart from that, I just play it through as it happens. And this is the result of it. Basically, what you'll see here is me 7/10 off the pace, and then that's not boding well, considering I need to finish up in 6th place. As you can see, I'm already off. I'm not going to get pole, no way. And I'm actually in 10th by half a second on Sergio Perez. So, yeah, could be worse. I could have ended up dropping out in Q1, but two Hamiltons, two McLarens up on the front row doesn't bode well for my championship chances. The only thing that makes me feel better is that Schumacher is just in 7th there. So I got a decent start, got ahead of Perez. Now the first corner could be a bit messy, which it is. I slammed into the back of my teammate, of all people. But it could have been worse, it could have caused proper damage. But I didn't. And Vettel down in 7th. I don't suppose he's used to that. I'll try and have a look around the outside, but that's not going to happen. This is Monaco after all, so overtaking is severely limited. Try and have another look on the inside, but I messed it up a little bit. So, yeah, this is how it's going to be for a second. Going to have another look at Vettel. Maybe come around the outside of this corner, which is almost impossible. So, I'm going to wait for the tunnel. Come up on the inside. Try and go past him through the tunnel. Let's see if this goes by without an accident. And it did. But I'm not past him yet, though. I'm going to have to outbrake him here, which I totally, well, F up. And it goes straight across. I slowed down because I was not going to get a penalty or an illegal overtake. But unfortunately it does mean the top 6 have got a bit of a gap already, so I didn't time that perfectly. But I didn't lose my place to Vettel, which is pretty cool. Now most of this race is just going to be keeping people behind me. And in regards of keeping people behind me, I don't feel I'm quite ready for Legend yet, unfortunately. I have to reassess that position in the coming races where I do a bit better. I'm not giving anything away on that front, but I don't want to be in a situation where I'm struggling to get at Q1, nor do I want a situation where I am out in front by like 20 seconds or something. So I've got to be careful whether I stick at professional or go to Legend. So if I'm going to go to Legend, I need to pick up the pace quite considerably, because I'm just about managing to stay on the pace on professional without a decent setup. So if I find a good setup for all of these tracks, then maybe I'll consider switching it up sometime. As I am, as you can see, in my driving I'm not comfortable in the car. I'm just steering all over the place. It's not really working out for me. So yeah, never mind. It's just going to be another damage limitation race, but I don't think it'll be quite as bad as Bahrain. But later on in the race you'll see how it goes. I know what's going to happen. And it could mean I'm out of the points. We'll have to stick around and see what that one means. But 6th place wouldn't seem like a bad objective, but for me, at Monaco, it is. Unfortunately, if I used the sort of same setup I did last season, the Williams, I might have been able to keep it sort of within the confines of the track. But also remember, this is a Mercedes and it does decide to eat its tyres as well, which isn't much of an excuse considering that I've only just started the race, but this car is so tail happy, it's unreal. It keeps trying to spin out on me. I can't go around the corners with any sort of stability whatsoever. But never mind. You just have to get by with it. And you don't want an unstable car on Monaco, which is unfortunately what I have. So yeah, I got about 17 laps left, roundabouts, and getting to the end would be a miracle. But it's not impossible. My rear tyres are going off already. 4 laps in. So that's always great to see. Especially when you're uncomfortable. But hey, never mind. I don't think much happens here really, it's just me going around here. Unfortunately, Monaco is one of those tracks we can't overtake in many places at all unless you're a mental person. Or extremely skilled, one of the two. But as you can see on the map, you've got the top 6 ahead of me there, going around the chicane thing, which I absolutely hate. I hate this bloody corner. They only put it in there for safety reasons anyway. But oh well. I think it causes more problems than it's worth these days. Especially in cars that are actually quite a bit safer than they used to be. But yeah, as you can see on the map, I'm getting a lovely little spud train behind me. Vettel. You know, Vettel not doing well this year anyway, so it doesn't matter. He doesn't matter this year, basically. That's just the simple truth of it. He doesn't matter. He's just one of those midfield cars, which is quite hilarious. But yeah, there's not a lot going on this week. There's a couple of announcements, who's doing what and who's getting in the car first, and the drivers testing in Spain. A couple of good announcements though. If you well, good as in interesting ones. If you want to see the unveiling of a few cars this week or next week, because it's only Saturday at the minute. If you want to see the unveiling of some cars, the first one that I know of is on the 28th of January, which is Monday. If you want to see the live unveiling of the Lotus E21, you have to tune in at 19:15, which is 7:15 GMT, for the live launch of their car, and that'll be on their YouTube channel, which is Lotus F1 Team. So type that in YouTube and you'll find it. If you subscribe to them, you'll be able to see their live launch. Well, if you don't have to subscribe to them, but if you tune into their channel at that exact time, you should see their live launch. And also McLaren are launching their car on the 31st of January, which will be live streamed across Facebook, YouTube and Google+. And well, it'll be on their YouTube channel and a link on their Facebook. Their live car reveal will be at 10:30 in the morning GMT. So you get to see the new MP4-28. So that's quite exciting news going on there, because next week will be the week for car reveals. Practically all the teams will be revealing their cars. People get the first look and first impressions, and hopefully all the cars have got rid of their stupid stepped noses. They were ugly, absolutely ugly. And anyway, back to this race. Vettel's apparently got DRS on me, which is... DRS is pointless on this track. It really, really is. Under no circumstances there was I actually even threatened by Vettel. So they may as well not even bother having DRS on this place. This doesn't serve you any purpose apart from qualifying. And you have to... The only way you're going to overtake someone with DRS here is actually being right under their gearbox anyway. So what would be the point of that? I don't know. I'm just happy they don't get to use DRS all the way around the track next year. And why am I happy? Purely for selfish reasons. I hate using the damn thing at every single point on the track in qualifying practice. Oh Christ. Yeah, that's terrible driving. I am seriously uncomfortable in this car. I can't wait to come in and get some new tyres. And then I got actually punted by Vettel. He actually took me out. Can't believe that. He actually... And to be fair, he did get a penalty for that. So he's not going to be on our radar for very much longer. But yes, yes, you did see that correctly. That is a Caterham that's gone past me. Don't be too alarmed though, because Caterham are a midfield team this year, pretty much. They're the lower end of the midfield, but they are a midfield. Sometimes I wish the engineer would shut up. But I did like the fact that Vettel did get a drive-through penalty. It's nice to see that the AI do get punished. It doesn't happen often. Not as often as I'd like it to happen, but when they hit you legitimately, they do get penalties. At least it works. Getting a lot of lockups coming down here, but that's quite a common thing. Anyway, especially when you got a crap setup, but still trying to manage this. As you can see, my rear tyres are buggered as well. I think Vettel actually just went into the back of me there, so he's having an even worse race than me in a minute, and I'm having trouble getting in the pit lane. So I apologise now if this wasn't what you were after in an F1 video. But most of the guys who watch this video know I'm not perfect. So yeah. Let's try and get out of here without going across the line. This is a bit of a tricky one. You actually have to try and steer properly, which I can't. Yeah, you engineer, you can go and stuff your targets up your ass, because it's not going to happen today. So currently I'm down in 14th behind Kobayashi. Vettel's still behind me. He still probably has to pit for tyres or his drive-through penalties, so he'll be dropping down the field as well.
Be aware, we think the car behind is trying to save fuel.
Hopefully I won't lose too many positions by the time I get back round to the pit straight, because I'm pretty sure I'm losing like a second or two a lap to everyone else.
Michael has entered the pits. He's pitting right now.
So Schumacher's in the pits now. Just letting me know. So that's the top 6. Or he's in 6th. I think. I don't think he's changed positions. So that's the leaders. So they're going to be definitely out in front of us. So we're not going to be any higher than 7th. But seeing as this is a crowded circuit and a crowded pit lane, hopefully I'll be able to get back out in front of these guys. Depending where Petrov is as well, see where he is.
Cars in the pits right now. Watch out for cars exiting the pits.
So I come out in 9th, which I think 2 of the cars ahead haven't pitted, because Schumacher was up in 6th and I was the one in 7th until Petrov got past me. So I assume that means that 2 cars have not pitted, so they're going around an extra lap, see if they can probably create a gap to me, I guess. Or get past me. Either one. But we're not going to let it rest so easily. I thought I was going to go straight to the barrier then. Judging by how quickly I yanked that wheel. And of course there's going to be a bit of corner cutting on that corner. As I said before, I can't stand that chicane. Really can't. Oh well. We're only halfway through as well. I mean, that did kind of go quick, but I'm quite surprised I haven't lost my front wing yet. But don't worry, there's still time. Got someone coming out of the pits here. I believe that is Petrov. And he's got out in front of me, damn it. So here we are, yeah, back where we were. 2 cars didn't pit, so we're up in 8th. And Petrov's ahead of us and Schumacher's in 6th again. Let's see if I can catch this bloody thing up. Bloody Caterham. Surely I'm not that bad. But, yeah, you'd be surprised how bad I can be sometimes. Yeah, let's see what happens here. See how close I can get to him. I'm still locking up bloody right front tyre, but that's to be expected. I'd be a bit more wide if I locked up my front left.
The gap to the car in front is less than a second. Let's try and get past in the DRS zone.
Alright, here we go. Let's try and use DRS, see if that works. Actually, I might be able to do something here. No, by the time you get to the end, you haven't got past them, but I'm going to try go around the outside, which actually works for once. I thought I was going to slam into the barriers. That was a typical, well, I had to clench for that one. Just about missed the barriers there, but I did manage to do it. And that just about proves how useless DRS is on the straight, but if you're that close to him going around the corner, you can make a move. Even if it was a ballsy move.
We think the car behind is running on full revs. He's trying to close the gap.
And now Petrov's on full revs, trying to close the gap. Hey, it's all very well running full revs, but you're not going to get past that easily. Obviously the AI doesn't take as many risks as a human would, so you got more of a chance of staying in front. Now there we go, the fastest lap of Hamilton is about 1.2 seconds faster than me, and this is in the midpoint of the race, so you can probably see what I mean by the fact that I'm a lot slower than these guys. I'm just going to end up with a train behind me. Carter Kane getting in the way. So go. I managed to get past him without. Sorry, I had to yawn there. This is the morning I'm doing this in, as most of you will know that, because it takes me all day to upload these. And just woke up really. So yeah, I managed to get past him without incident. Hopefully I won't come across any invisible walls. I've had that happen once in last year's game on the run down to the famous hairpin, whatever it's called. I've forgotten that now as well. It's too early. But down there was an invisible wall to the left, which completely destroys your car and makes all your wheels fly off. That was annoying last year. but it doesn't look like there's any visible walls that I've come across so far in this track.
We're increasing our gap on the car behind by around a second per lap.
So increasing the gap from Petrov about a second a lap. I can't remember if I had full mix on or not, but I don't think I've flicked it up. God, I'm terrible. I should really know what I've done and what I haven't done. But apparently I'm increasing the gap by a second a lap, which is completely untrue, because he is still a second behind me, and I've completely messed that up anyway by riding the curbs too much. It sent me into a bit of a spin. This Petrov is still behind me, threatening my 7th place, and it looks like a car has gone out of the race somewhere. Someone's retired from the race because there's now 23 cars. Find out who that is at the end of the race. So at this point in the race, I just want this race to be over, really. Schumacher made up 3 seconds in that lap alone, so I'm not catching him up anytime soon. All I can hope for from him is that he retires from the race as well. He's up the rest of my curves. It's safe to say that was a bad lap. 1:22.5, considering I did a best lap of 1:19.6. So I know I've got Petrov and Maldonado behind me, but I don't know what happened behind them, because the little train of cars doesn't seem to be right up against them. But I think they're probably going to catch up pretty soon, considering I'm at the front. Yeah, I think they're catching up now. So just forget I said anything about that. And again, I'm sliding around there, but that time I didn't hit the curbs. I know I didn't. And this is why I'm not going very fast, because I'm not confident the car can do anything at the minute. I should have just stuck to the normal setups or the quick setups.
We think the car behind is running on
For this one.
He's trying to close the gap.
Because this is one circuit I've never been able to set up for. Because it makes the steering incredibly sensitive. All the setups I've ever seen online, or the quick setups with the high downforce. But I think I need to tweak it so I can actually get a bit more acceleration, a bit more speed on the little straighter sections. Because I think it's actually,
Michael's 3 seconds a lap faster than you.
I think the downforce, the amount of downforce I've got on this bloody car at the minute, with the sensitive steering, it's completely silly. Well, I don't know about downforce. I don't know. I don't know what I've done to this car. I've made it completely unstable. So unfortunately, I'll have to wait till next season to actually figure out how to get around here properly. Probably what I might do is I'll put on a few practice sessions away from my career, so I can actually practice going around here with tyre simulation and fuel simulation. Because time trial doesn't tell you diddly squat. Because all the simulations are off and you've got no wear on the tyres. So you can't really tell if you're going to do it well or not in the career. Because most of the time you go on time trial and you think, oh yeah, this is great, I'm owning this track, and you actually get into the career with a tyre and fuel simulation, and you do things like that, go straight into the barriers. So I'm going to have to get some practice in before the next time I come around here. But it's not looking too bad so far. In 7th, so it still means I'm going to get some points if I don't mess it up. But Petrov is definitely keeping me honest, and if I make too much of a mistake, he's going to go straight past me. Wow, lap 17. Joyce, these videos just fly right by when I open my gob and start talking about random crap. I mean, that's literally what my videos are, random crap, especially in the talking sense. I think something's going to happen here. I think something's going to happen here. Yes, there we go. I remember now.
You've lost your front wing. If you can nurse the car back to the pits, we'll fit a replacement.
And now I am angry. To get this far into the race and mess it up like that. Let Petrov pass. Let Petrov past and I've lost my front wing. And now I'm going to have to come into the pits and lose even more time to the train that was behind me. So my thing now to do is to switch the option tyres because I believe I've still got a fresh set to use. That's going to cost me some time as well. But hopefully with these option tyres on I might be able to actually catch a few people up. Like De La Rosa and Vettel have just gone past. I can't believe an HRT is in front of me. That's a new low. But now I've got 3 laps to do on a fresh set of options, and I should be on high fuel mixture. At least I hope so. Anyway, if I haven't, I should set it up pretty soon. So we should be okay to catch people up. 7.5 seconds. A bit of an ask, but I think it's completely doable, considering their prime tyres should be starting to wear off around about now. So we'll see what we can do. I immediately feel a bit more comfortable, especially on this new set of tyres. I'm still not completely happy with how the car is driving, but it seems to be working a bit better now, even though I'm corner cutting. So yeah, unfortunately I stuffed this race completely up. It's a good job I am still in the race though, and can actually finish somewhere in the top 20 rather than last in DNF. But that's what I'm like though, I don't give up on a race like that. I don't just, you know, when I've got this far in, especially when I don't want to restart the race, I just let the career go as it goes. If I crash, I crash and you get a short video, but I try not to do that. But luckily that crash didn't put me out of the race, so yeah, here we are in 18th. Yeah, and out the points. That's really not going to help my championship chances, considering I think both the McLarens are probably 1 and 2. I think that's how most of the season's going to roll. They're going to be up the top, and I've got to try and split them up or finish ahead of them if I'm to even begin to think of winning the championship. As you can see, I have caught up to these guys, even though my driving has been a little bit messy. I've reduced the 7.2 or 7.5 gap to whatever it is now, as I just managed to keep that slide. 3.4, so I've made up about half of that time, roundabout. But we are starting the final lap now, and if I'm going to make a move, it's going to have to be on this lap, because the finish line is just around the corner. It's a long race, this Monaco track. The track is very short and can be completed in under 1 minute 20 and 1 minute 15 in some cases. But 20 laps, it can take it out of you, and it's a long race, especially when you get safety cars and things like that in the real world. But as you can see, Jenson Button won the race. I assume Lewis Hamilton came in second, and I think Schumacher finished in 6th. But now is my last chance to actually make a move on Vettel up in front, who is also with me down in 17th. And then I mess it up again. Totally went wrong, and obviously letting them go past again because I don't want an illegal overtake. And just to round off a crap day, that happens.
You've taken some slight damage to the front wing. You should be okay to stay out.
You would not believe how unbelievably pissed off I was at this point. As you might be able to tell, I'm just taking the piss now, I'm just driving slowly. Just go slowly round these corners. Definitely a day to forget. Unfortunately, if you came here for expert gameplay, this was not it. But we did make it to the end. Am I even going to get across the line? Yes. Before the other guys come along. And I'm extremely disappointed to have finished 18th. But I'm glad that race is out of the way. You only have to do it once a year, so... yeah, stuff it, basically. Stuff it all. As you can see, Petrov actually got a penalty as well. So that dropped him down to 15th. My fastest lap was 118.9, which I think is around the top 5 mark. Around about. It would have been fast enough to be up there with them, but they are doing that on worn primes. I was doing those times on fresh options, so you can see how much I was off the pace there. So I was right. Hamilton finished second, Alonso was in third, and that was the rest of the standings there. Jean-Eric Verne was the one who didn't finish the race.
You into third in the Drivers' Championship.
But I have clung on to third. I don't know where I was last time. I don't know if I was second or third. But Jensen is leading the championship. 8 points is behind is Hamilton, and I am in third with 68. Schumacher is only 1 point behind me, so I've got to keep an eye on that. And Alonso's on 60. So it's a bit close there. I could end up dropping a couple of places if I have another bad result. There's the rest of the standings there. Nothing much else to report. And then obviously McLaren Mercedes is at the top with 184, followed behind by Mercedes 135. So a 1-2 finish for Mercedes and McLaren not scoring in the next race would still mean we'd be in second. So we've got to do some serious catching up. Yeah, another disappointment sequence where I am. That's really how I feel. I feel like crap. But anyway, I'll see you next time for round 7 in Canada. Take care, guys.